You know, 1986 was the first time I raised an invoice. I was 16 years of age and it was my first company. I want you to look at that image and I want you to think of business, and I want you to think what would be happening in your business to be like that. Now I want you to think about Business Force 5, the financial management. Automatically you might go to cash flow, but then go to a deeper insight and let's talk about age debt. I've been that guy. If I go to when I was 32, I was that guy. Why? Because organisation hadn't paid me between 90 to 190 days. And I took action. And I took action by jumping in a plane and going straight to their head offices to speak to them. I'd had enough. I'd been putting up with it for about 15 months. We had non-execs. We had board meetings. We had monthly reporting, weekly reporting, divisional reporting. All our team was developed. We had processes and systems for everything. The only challenge we had was the big players weren't playing us. And I just had enough. And I went through to Christine, my FD, and I said to her, can you give me all the historical evidence of the two customers, right back to when it started, and give me the average days and the average invoicing. And I jumped in a plane and I went outside, and one person I sat outside their office for 4 hours. It was the group director. Now these companies turned over 60 billion. They knew who I was. Why would they know who Stevie Kidd was, who only gets 3 million from a 60 billion pound company? Because when I engaged with them, I modelled everything about them. But then I created innovation, Business Force 2 of things that didn't exist. Proof of delivery concept. I set up my own training academy. They were recruiting through it. We were adding value at every opportunity. And when he seen me, he says, what's up, Stevie? And I gave him the A4 envelope and he opened up and he read it, digested it, looked at me with embarrassment and said, this is embarrassing. I says, I've been putting up with it for 15 months now. You owe me £189,000. Can you pay me, please? And he seen there was another envelope there. Anyway, we went on to open book, preferred supplier partnership. They put £1 million into an account and we ran an OPC system and a proof of delivery concept, a PO concept, sorry, which meant it was all automation. So now the invoices would be raised, it would just be automated and you were paid within 5 days. He asked me to give me CTC the second envelope. He thought it was a 3-month termination notice. He opened up the envelope and he put his heads in his hand like that. And he looked at me and he said, unbelievable, this sums you up as an entrepreneur, as a leader. And this is why we love being in partnership with you, and we apologise sincerely for what pain you have had as an organisation. We're embarrassed. Because the envelope actually, when he opened up, it said, what more can we do for you? The lesson here is to challenge your own reality. Have a read at the transcript and the post and tell me what you think. It will create awareness for you to understand what's going on within you and why you don't challenge it. The pain gets so much for me that I just said it's not worth having. So I'm going to speak to the main organ grinder, and that's what I did in a professional way. And it worked to our favour because we ended up in open book. As I said to you, I've been doing this for 40 years. There's no need for you to do that. All you need to do is become an observer of your own life, observe your thoughts, observe your feelings, and can do Business Force 6, constant improvement. I just went to the head offices and it paid off for me because we ended up in an open book contract, which meant we were paid in 5 days. The best scenario I've had has been paid in advance by 60 days, and that's by private clients. Corporation clients at that level pay me within 5 days and 7 days. The concept of now is we get paid in real time, so we get paid a month in advance. There is another way. Challenge your beliefs, challenge your limitations, but build fantastic relationships with your customers and aim to be preferred supplier partnership in open book, because it becomes a different relationship. I hope that helps.